Hey everyone, Amy here from Revitalized RX. Did you know that 80% of people will experience back pain at some point in their life? Are you one of them? Well, I don't want you to be one of those people that develops chronic low back pain. So, what can we do about it? I'm sharing 8 tips you need to know when it comes to dealing with back pain. One of the most common ailments that we treat is back pain. Yes, you could probably admit that you have dealt with back pain in the past, or you are currently dealing with some form of back pain. Causes could range from maybe an old injury, lifting, trauma, perhaps maybe even a chronic condition. So what I wanted to do today was to provide you the tools and resources you need. So stay tuned for 8 tips to improve or alleviate back pain. Now, I want you to keep in mind, this may not be a pick one and it's solved. You tend to get better results when you combine multiple things rather than doing them alone. So what are the 8 tips that we will be talking about today? The first one is listen up. Daily, our bodies are providing us signals, but are we listening to them? The second one is ice or heat. Which is better and when do we use them? Now, third tip will be move easy. I'm going to help you learn how to transition from positions so you can move with more ease. Number 4 is going to be get balanced. 95% of our clients that come in have an imbalance in their pelvis. A balanced pelvis is key. Number 5, that pesky psoas. The psoas muscle is a major contributor to many issues, including back pain. Number 6, sacrum work. I'm going to take you through one of our clients' favorite techniques to find relief. The 7th one is lengthen those hammies. Tight hamstrings can contribute to back pain, but is it truly the hamstrings that are the issue? And the last one, number 8, core work. Is it harmful? It is time to get to the core of this issue. Now that I've shared our 8 tips, let's dive deeper into each one. I'm going to also be including links to specific techniques or articles to further your understanding of many of these tips, so you'll want to check the description. So the first one that we talked about was listen up. In order to truly heal and get better when we're dealing with pain, we have to start learning to listen to our body's signals. Every day it is giving us signs and signals of how it's feeling. But the question is, are we truly listening? So some of the signs it may give you throughout the day may be discomfort. You may also get a sharp pain or an ache or a tightness in an area. Maybe when we're doing a task, that task starts to become a little bit more difficult to perform. Or we may have to modify or change how we are doing that task in order to complete it. These are all critical signs that the body is providing you and asking you to listen up. So I want you to be checking the description above for an article on some tips on how to listen and respond to the body. Second tip is ice versus heat. Well, both can be extremely useful. Ice should definitely be used in the acute phase or when we have a flare-up for the first 72 hours. It's going to help you decrease that inflammation. We also want to use it when we're feeling areas that are maybe red, hot, tender, or swollen. Heat can be used after that initial 72 hours, but also in more chronic situations. It's great to use when we're feeling more of kind of that stiffness and that tightness. So you want to decide which one your body responds to better, but remember, make sure you're using that ice in the first 72 hours. The third tip is, let's dive into moving easy. When we have back pain, it can be a struggle to get out of bed each and every day or get up out of a chair because of our pain and discomfort. Well, I want you to know that you're not alone, but there are definitely safer ways for you to be able to transition in these positions and minimize the pain and discomfort that you are feeling. So I want you to check above to the description where I share techniques for both of these on how to get up out of a chair as well as get up from a lying down position. Our fourth tip is getting balance. Did you know that back pain, headaches, neck pain, and hip pain could all be linked to your pelvis and whether it is balanced? 95% of our clients that we see have an imbalance in their pelvis. So what does this mean? The pelvis has two sides. So if you put your hands on your pelvis, you're going to feel both of those sides. Well, typically one side is rolling forward in relation to the other one rolling back. This is creating an imbalance. So usually it will push one leg long or pull one leg short, creating misalignment. So creating balance is critical and one of the most important things that we can do for our overall health because it impacts so many areas of our body. But it is beneficial for us to start to know and understand which way we are rotated. And this is usually best done by working with a healthcare practitioner that can help guide you on which way you are rotated and what you can do to correct that. The fifth one is that pesky psoas. We always seem to be talking about this pesky psoas. It is one of our hip flexor muscles. So if you imagine 1 inch off from the belly button, deep within the body, a muscle going vertically from a little bit on the diaphragm coming down and down through the hip and attaching onto the inner thigh, that's going to be our psoas. The psoas is a very important muscle. It actually attaches onto each of our lumbar vertebrae and can be a main contributor in a lot of our issues, especially low back pain. It can be impacting disc problems, scoliosis, headaches, migraines, abdominal pain, digestive discomforts, menstrual cramps, all kinds of things this psoas is contributing to. So I want you to Google psoas, Psoas, and look at the images on where it connects. Start to get a real understanding of where it's connecting, and you'll start to understand why it is impacting the back. So learning how to correctly self-treat this area is extremely beneficial for most individuals with any type of ailment or discomfort, especially if we are doing anything that is bending related. So we may be, we bend every single day when we're going to lift something. When we sit, we are in that shortened hip flexor position. When we walk, when we run, all of those things are impacting the psoas and it can become shortened, impacting the back. So I want you to be checking in the link in the description above for 2 different ways to address the psoas. One is going to be indirect and one is going to be more of a direct way. The 6th thing is using a 4-inch ball on our sacrum. One of our favorite techniques that our clients feedback to us, they absolutely love this technique. All you need is a 4-inch ball. If you don't have one, you can roll up a hand towel and use that to facilitate releasing tension in the low back and the pelvic region. This technique can be extremely beneficial for individuals with low back pain, hip and pelvic pain, digestive discomforts, menstrual cramps, as well as headaches. Do you see why it is one of our favorites amongst our clients? So I'm sharing a technique, so you want to make sure that you're checking the link above, and we'll walk you through this technique step by step. The 7th tip that we want to talk about is lengthening those hammies. Many people with back pain feel like their hamstrings are so tight. It can be an extremely important area to treat, but many times it isn't the true issue. Remember when we talked about the psoas and a balanced pelvis? We do have to address these issues first, then start to incorporate hamstring stretches. When the psoas becomes tight, it can be a main contributor in why we have an imbalanced pelvis. So with an imbalanced pelvis, it is going to put the muscles in either a shortened or a lengthened state. This is why we feel tight. So we have to treat the psoas, we have to balance the pelvis, and then release that tension in the hamstrings. My 8th tip is core work. Is it good or is it bad? Now, over the years, I have seen a lot of people cause more harm than good when doing core work. A lot of people like to do core work where they are lifting both legs straight up in the air, but this weight actually causes strain through the psoas. Yep, there is that word again. This is why you will notice that your back is popping off of the floor, or you're getting a popping when you're lifting those legs. This is telling you that you have an instability and a sign to absolutely stop that technique and get guidance from a trained healthcare professional. There are better ways that you can do core work that are going to protect and stabilize the back and not cause more dysfunction. So I want you to check the link above. I will have more of an article on why core work can be challenging for people with back pain. So back pain can definitely be debilitating for many, but treating the underlying causes will start to grant you long-lasting relief that you are hoping for. I hope that you found these 8 tips helpful. I would love for you to share in the comments your thoughts and experiences. If you found this video helpful, give us a thumbs up and make sure you're subscribing to our channel so that we can keep you notified when our next video is coming out. So thank you so much for listening and stay tuned for more.